Hello, Sri Lanka. Hey. How are you, Shakti? I'm good, man. How's Sri Lanka doing?
Doing good.
Good, doing good. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've met you here, Sri Lanka.
We are meeting in other sessions now.
Okay, great. Always nice to be on DC
You've
Live.
been traveling in all these centers, Rudra. How was that?
Yeah, I know it's probably it was a very great experience, because I did that as a stretch, right? So the entire week I was in all four centers.
Okay.
So I was in Kapu first. From Kapu, I moved to E Road.
It's like Avatar, Dasavatar.
Yes, it was more of a Padayatra.
Padayatra. Hope you didn't do that.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know. Maybe like election date are very
election
close and
dates, no
started your campaigning, I believe.
campaigning and all of that. Yeah, that is the
Smart
worst
work,
part.
Rudra. Two in
I
one.
think I
Only
should, I
Kappila
should
rendu manga.
correct.
1,500 votes are not chumma, right?
Yeah, I know, right? So that's a big number. You can become a counselor with that number of votes, actually.
Good, good, good.
Great. Yeah, that's how it's very nice. It's a very happy thing to be talking to people, connecting with them, and it's always a great thing, right? So when you are among the people, makkaloda makkalaga, right? So
Yeah.
it's a great thing, great feeling, always a nice feeling. So next time I was just telling Veena that it should not be only me who's traveling because it is detached. DC Live also should be traveling,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely. Yes. So maybe off the line we can discuss. I told you about this, but you went alone. Yeah, no problem. That's fine.
Sorry.
I told that when DTH is there, I'll love to join along with you. I told.
Sure, definitely. We'll do
Yeah.
that.
Both
Okay.
both the timing, everything could sync, but definitely we should move on. Yeah.
I think we should probably do that, right? Okay, great. Okay, so nice to have Sri Lanka on the show. It's always a happy thing to be on DC Live, and I get to meet all of you. Um, so good evening, everyone, and it's Friday 5:30. The weekend sets in, and it's a festive mood. By the way, happy Yugadi, Yugadi Shubhakankshalu, Sri Lanka. Okay.
ధన్యవాదాలు మీకు ఉగాది శుభాకాంక్షలు. I don't know how to tell in Telugu, Kannada, but I told you in Telugu.
Yeah, that's okay. Telugu is fine with me.
But I'm so happy. I mean, like tomorrow is also falling like
Exactly.
where,
Yeah. So it
yeah.
was
But we can write this in between Friday. Something has been engaged.
exactly. So it was a festival yesterday. Friday is always happy, and then we have a festival tomorrow. So probably all of us are getting into the festive mood, and that's why I didn't want to miss today's show also, people. And we are on another episode of Cornerstone Weaving Workplace. 5:30 on DC Live, where we care, we share, and we are on air. And I'm your host, your favorite Archie Rudra. Before we start all the festivities and everything, I'm going to talk about something which is very important, right? So, which is like for yourself, because what have you done for yourself? What do you want to do? Which is about leading yourself, about identifying yourself, about talking to yourself. So that's what I wanted to start off with. And the first topic that I'm going to talk about is leading yourself as an ice cutter skill, meaning how do you put this as a skill for yourself? Okay. The first thing is always when it comes to leading ourselves, when it comes to ourselves, we don't stay calm for ourselves is the point, right? So let's start with a quick exercise because you need to find your why and staying calm. If you're feeling a bit burnt out, try this, right? So next time you feel a little burnt out, too much of work, and it's something that you feel stressed out, look at your calendar for next week. Okay. Instead of seeing meeting or report, ask yourself, who does this help? Why are we doing this? When you connect to a task with a a human side of it, which is a client. Oh, this meeting is for the client, and this is what we're doing for the client. This is for the team members, this is for the teammate. And it doesn't look like a meeting anymore. And I'm sharing this report because this report has to be sent. No. What is that report sent for? Look at the human side of it. Who are you helping? Why are you doing it? Like always, to all the great chefs in the kitchen, all right? It's just a recipe for them, but for you, it's food on the table. And if they think about it, okay, this is going to a person for whom they're going to relish this dish, or someone who's really hungry that day, who's had a bad day at work, and or who's celebrating it. If you look at it as a recipe, there it ends. But if you look at it for food, which is going to help feed someone, which is going to help celebrate for someone, which is going to help be happy about it, could be a dinner with your loved ones. So that is the purpose, the sense of purpose. That will not come as your paycheck or your daily activities. So that's what is being human, and finding your why and staying calm in the larger picture that it helps someone else. Now, it could be a job for me and Sri Lekha here that we're sitting and talking, but someone else who's listening and talking, listening to this talk, could be someone who's really stressed out on a Friday evening, and this lively chat can help them. And that's what I look beyond this Google Meet or the 3 windows that is there. How do I come back every week, and why does Sri Lekha come back every other day on this particular Google Meet and sit on it to see what's happening? Because it is not that 4 windows for us. If we look at that 4 windows, we stop there, right? That's what I'm talking about, finding the human side and staying calm about it. But it's hard to find a purpose when you're really stressed, right? When you fear, when you're having a bad day, when you have your anxiety, your brain will go into survival mode, not into creative, not into strategic mode. To quiet that noise, try to label the feeling. Just say, I'm feeling anxious now about this show. And that has the power to take away the emotions and lets your logical brain take the driver's seat or the wheel again. That's very important. Don't let your emotions drive you. And when big chances come your way, don't fight them. Train your brain to lean in with these 4 simple words. I'm learning about it. I'm curious about it. Especially I'm curious about it. It shifts your thoughts or your brain from being defensive to learning. And that is very, very important for you to A, stay calm, 2, to get a better version of yourself. That's very, very important. Now that I've spoken about finding your why and staying calm, the other thing that usually happens is you fight with your traps, right? So what's a trap for you? What is the trap in this? Now, always you feel perfection is a trap. Performance is a trap. So especially I'm talking about performer. Let's talk about the high performer trap. We've all been there. You're good at your job, so you say yes to everything. You end up over-promising and under-delivering. Leading yourself means knowing your capacity, right? So you should know what you can do, what you can take, how much you can do. It's better to be the person who says no right now than the person who misses a deadline later, correct? Speaking of delivery, let's reframe your next performance review, right? Stop looking at it as a report card. Instead, probably look at it as a strategy session, or your, if you were to be the organization, if you would be the person who's, what will you be talking about your accomplishments? Ask yourself, and probably take help of your call. What's the one thing I can do to make the biggest impact in the goals next quarter, in the upcoming month, or the upcoming few months? That is what is going to shift your focus from what you did wrong to how you can win. Correct? That's very, very important. Now, don't really get into fact that yeah, you're performing, you're going back and back and cycles and cycles. That's going to train you out. Always ask about what is the impact that you can contribute. That's a question that's going to get a better version of yourself the next time. And when you feel those energy drains, like that one meeting that could have been an probably a very just finished over a phone call, it's okay. Just don't complain. Respond by protecting your time. You know what? Okay, let's come back to focus and start doing something which is important. Lastly, I'm going to talk about navigating people and decisions. What happens when you disagree with a decision? What happens at home? Or you're playing a match and then your friend says something and then you have to do something. Now, it could completely be looking irrational to you. It could be looking something completely out of logic. But in silence, when you look at it, just try asking yourself, I want to make sure I understand the why behind this decision so that I can fully get behind it and you understand what happened. It's okay to have deferred with a decision, but understanding the why behind that decision and getting behind it fully is something very important for you to navigate complex minds, people, and decisions. And it's completely professional. It shows that you care about the outcome and it opens a door for the real conversation. Now, when you lead yourself well, you naturally inspire others. You don't need a fancy title. You don't need a particular designation to be around to inspire people. When people see you working towards a big picture, they definitely see that what value and how do you look at things. And they definitely want to follow you, and then you become a leader by yourself. So you start by leading yourself, and then you start inspiring, and then you become someone who is transformed into leader by yourself. That's very important. And now that, my friends, is something that you want to be. But let's get real. Some managers, some bosses are tough, right? Okay. You probably have people who probably check with you, what we call as micromanaging many times. And also sometimes it also could happen that you need to give an update multiple times. So plan yourself. How do you proactively update before someone asks you for an update? Now, someone who possibly, you're in a role which is very dynamic. People keep seeing this, right? Which of your current priorities should move back and forth? Now, you probably want to talk to your boss or your manager and say that, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this way that we will probably rearrange or reprioritize the things that we will have to do. So that's okay, right? So reprioritizing still works. That's what is very, very important. That's called navigating people and decisions. Lastly, a very important thing that I'm talking about is better communication and feedback. You want to have conversations one-on-ones with people, with friends, and with anybody. Now, you got to actually be open about it. And you also have to have a very open mind about embracing things that you have cleared and things that you have been stuck with, and what are you doing about it. Now, you want to check with someone on an update, it's okay to ask for an update. Finally, it's about regrouping your thoughts, ensuring that you're open, and it's not about being perfect, but it's about your incremental changes that you bring about towards the positive side of yours, which is what is very, very important. Okay. Now, how do you constantly reinvent yourself? How do you constantly reinvent yourself? Always, probably when you retire at the day, yeah, you must have had a very tough day. Ask yourself, what is one thing that I should stop doing today? And that's what's one thing that I should do more of tomorrow? I probably want to think about it with a fresh mind in the morning. What is that one thing I should stop doing from yesterday? And one thing that I should do more of from yesterday? That's a statement that's very, very important, because that's the process of your continual improvement. And these questions, just do not ask about your thought. Do not ask about what you feel. Ask about the actions, right? The actionables. And that's a very important thing that you improve yourself with. So that's called a reflection, right? Because leadership or people or building yourself, building your personality, building your own self is all about reflection, right? So it's no more about information, no more about understanding. Information is at the tip of your fingers right now. Information is not something that is not available. Information is available with everyone, everywhere. Okay. And what you want to do, people can help you with a lot of things. That's not what is important. But what is very, very important is how do you reflect and how do you regroup yourself and come back and present yourself. And for that, continuous improvement is very important. And one way I suggest you do this is by this 2-step process. Is it very simple? Just imagine you're getting back home. You're on a train, you're on a bus, or you're on the car as well, maybe. Don't do this when you're driving or when you're riding. But you can think for yourself, what is that one thing that I got wrong today? What is that one thing that I got right today? That'll help you build more on the rights, build more on the wrongs, right? Don't build more on the wrongs, avoid the wrongs. When you do this, you're going to build yourself a cyclic process of, I'm going to be doing the right things. Something may have worked, something may not have worked. And always think from a perspective, what was in your control? What are your controllables? What are those things that you should have probably controlled? Yeah, you got late to work because it rained. You never knew it rained. But then had you known it rained, did you have an umbrella with you? Did you make the necessary arrangements for the team to reach on time? For you to go to work? For you to carry food knowing that it's going to rain? That's your controllable. That's what I'm talking about. Perfect. Ask yourselves specific questions, get specific, useful answers for these questions. It's not about asking these questions alone. Getting specific questions, get very specific, useful answers. Okay, that's what is very, very important. Perfect. I think we have had some interesting 20 minutes now. As I said, leading yourself isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional and incremental about building yourself. It's about taking the wheel of your own career and life and driving it with a bit of grace and a lot of clarity. That's what is very, very important. Take these steps, try just one of them today, tomorrow, probably Sunday, give it an off. Try this on Monday and see how the vibe shifts. You've got this. It's very important to start leading yourself. Quickly summarizing everything. First, finding your why and staying calm. How do you do that? You ask yourself, what am I curious about? Why am I feeling? anxious about this. That's two things. Avoiding the traps. You don't have to be the high performer always. Be the person, because if you feel you're the high performer always, you've got everything right. So you're not going to actually ask yourself, what's that one thing I can do to make the impact, maybe at work every day, maybe in the next month. So ask yourself, what's that one thing I can do to make an impact in business? So don't get into the trap of it. You're going to be in the cycle. Don't do that. Because when someone says you are a good cook, you get into that, that the trap of being the good cook. And you always feel that you're doing it great. Okay. Right. That's what is very, very important to break that. Lastly, you want to understand people, navigate people and decisions, understand the why behind a decision. It's very, very important. Maybe sometimes a larger picture, sometimes it's not the favorable one for you, but still understand it. Lastly, ask yourself for continual improvement. What is one thing I should stop doing and one thing I should do more of? Specific questions and get useful answers which are very, very specific. That's all I had for this week and the weekend, people. Right in between your Yugadi and Eid. Okay. Happy Eid Mubarak to all my friends across centers. And until I meet you the next time, this is your favorite RJ Rudhra, who's signing off from Cornerstone Weaving Workplace on DC Live, where we care, we share, and we are on air. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Rudra. It was a great, I don't know how to tell, but the people definitely have these. If the one who have listened to it, I think they might be benefited out of it. So thank you.
Thank you. I think a lot of things happen to you from the universe, and this is one of them as well.
Yeah. At least monthly once we should talk with the universe, like the meditation session, what you have. Any one of the Saturdays monthly ones, like 20-minute session, we should.
Sure, we'll do that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Srilekha.
It's a big request from my side. Yeah. Maybe for me.
I think we'll plan that. Okay. Thank you then. Thanks, Srilekha. Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, Shakti. Thanks for having me. See you guys. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you.